Welcome to Counterculture Conversations. It's me, Dave. It's you, Jacob.
Me, Jacob.
And it's Brennan behind the scenes doing all the techie stuff, filling out the Google Sheets.
Checking facts.
Yeah.
All sorts
facts.
of stuff. And we're going to just be talking, having a conversation. Razzing Brennan.
We're giving him a good razzle.
Giving him a good razz.
Giving him a raspberry every now and then.
And then we're just going to be chilling.
Yeah. So we left off last week. We were kind of in this, we didn't outright say, but feelings.
Yeah, yes.
Feelings
Talking
series.
about feelings, emotions, that type of thing.
And we left off last week on identifying feelings and then being like open to what they are, being able to have language for what they are, the process of doing that. And now we get to have the fun conversation of what it looks like to submit those feelings.
Yeah, submitting your feelings to the Lord, or even in that, maybe we could say submitting, because I think sometimes you're going to want to submit these things to God, but then also what it looks like to correctly experience it too. Mm-hmm. To correctly experience it, or to rightly do it,
Yeah, I almost feel like there could be a better word for submitting. Mm-hmm. Because that feels, I know what it means, what I'm trying to say by it.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if it comes across.
Submitting it, when you say submitting it, almost makes it feel like, nope, don't do that. Take that and just immediately give it to God, where it's like, no, God wants you to, you have feelings for a reason, so you get to experience it. But I think he also wants you to experience it rightly. And then there is something about taking it and going, hey, God, I actually feel this way, and can you help me work through it? And that's like, or how about we do this? You're inviting God into your feelings.
Yes. Because a part of me is like, I don't believe that feelings. So everything that you see, everything that you are around, this entire world really can be boiled down to of God or of sin.
Yeah.
Or the devil, like whatever you want, like it's the devil or God. But it is either of God or it's because of sin nature in humanity progressing into whatever.
Yeah.
So what I like to ask myself sometimes is like, okay, well, we kind of villainize some emotions that we have, like anger or like lust even. And I'm not saying one or the other, but I am saying it would be worth it to look at those emotions and be like, either this emotion is of God, or it's not.
Yeah.
There isn't like a middle ground where it's like kind of God. And so it's like, I think emotions are from God.
Yeah.
And because of that, I think there's a right way of feeling them, and there's a right way of looking at them no matter what that emotion is. I talk a lot about anger. I'm like, anger gets to be a signpost of what your deep down conviction is of what right and wrong is. It's morality. If you kick me in the leg right now, I'm going to be angry. Yeah. But I'm not even angry because it hurt. Or maybe I am. Maybe you kick really hard and it breaks my leg.
Just kick.
But I'm going to be mad at you because I have a deep down conviction that says you're not supposed to kick your friends in the leg as hard as you can. You did it wrong. Yeah. I have the right way. You did it the wrong way. You're messing up. Like it's right versus wrong. And then the byproduct of that is I'm angry. Or I'm hurt. And then because I'm hurt, you made me feel hurt in front of this camera, in front of the millions of viewers.
Millions of viewers.
That makes me feel embarrassed, and then now I'm angry.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to have to embarrass you somehow.
Yeah. Now I'm going to have to give you like a big wedgie. Next time.
So that rant went places that I didn't think it was going to go. But, well, I guess what I'm trying to get at is emotions are from God. At least I think so.
But yeah.
And because of that, they should be filtered through a lens of there's a correct way to steward them. Just like there's a correct way to steward all blessings from God.
Totally. Yeah, no, I'd agree. And I mean, we do, like you said, anger gets villainized, and it does. I mean,
literally every villain.
Yeah, every villain's angry or like nuts. Angry or nuts. But I think, like you're saying, I think anger does get villainized, but it was one of those stories out of the Bible was Jesus and the money changers and him like
flipping tables,
dude. And he was mad. He's like angry, because they were because of what they were doing, selling stuff in the middle of the like temple and doing all this stuff. And so like we do see that anger in that moment, like Jesus is angry and he reacts in a way that,
Well, and I think even like that story gets pinpointed a lot.
Yeah.
For like, oh wow, Jesus got angry too.
Yeah.
But I think we're cutting short the gospel if we don't consider the fact that maybe Jesus felt jealousy. Not necessarily, and again, like I think there are ways in which our emotions have been twisted by sin.
Yeah.
That it's like jealousy now turned into coveting. And that's wrong. That's a sin. But all jealousy is like, oh, I see something that someone has that I think I might want. That's not a bad thing. I look at your juicy biceps and I'm like, yeah, there's a part of me that wants juicy biceps like that. But I'm not like jealous rage. What it does is I get to have that emotion and be like, okay, deep down, I do want big old juicy biceps. This is so silly. I get to then take that to God and be like, God, there's a part of me, I see fruit in other people that I desperately want.
Yeah.
Help me either create that in my own life or help me rearrange my priorities. Like, show me where I'm off, show me where I'm on, what's right, what's wrong.
And that's the whole thing, though, about, like, submitting, what we said, the word submitting or inviting God in is that you get to, one, kind of experience the emotion, but then you always bring it back to God. Like, all right, I'm upset that so the other day, Amanda said something to me. Amanda's my wife for those millions of followers who don't know. She said to all of our, this is what we do from now on, to the millions. To the millions of followers we have, yeah. But we were talking and she said something that upset me. And I literally found myself, I was like, that upset me. And then I go, oh wait, but why? And then comes to find out, she didn't really even say anything wrong. It's just like an attitude or a viewpoint of something I thought that, like, after I brought it to God, he was like, no, Jacob, like, you're not viewing this correctly. And I was like, oh, dang. And it's so, one, different to do that, I think, but because today's culture would just say, hey, you just be angry and just express it however you want.
Don't hurt anybody.
Yeah, but you get to
express it however you want.
Yeah.
That's you being yourself.
Yeah.
That's you being the authentic you.
Yeah, and it's like, well, no, there's correct ways to express stuff.
Well, and so now back, because I don't want to leave it too hanging of like, I think we need to consider the story of Jesus as a story of God, fully human.
Yeah.
Experiencing full human range of emotions. It's not like God was always at peace with everything. We know there was times of anger. Yeah. There's probably times of being short-tempered or tired. And like, we get a look at that and be like, oh, I can trust that. Maybe there was I don't know how close this is to heresy. I play these games in my head a lot of like, maybe there's a teenage Jesus that like had to deal with teenage hormones, like, because he had to grow up.
Yeah,
like there's hormones, and I don't think that takes away from the divinity.
Mm-mm.
I think if I were to say, and he just did whatever he wanted because that takes away the divinity. Yeah. What actually gives more power to the divinity is, there's actually a way to steward teenage hormones in a way that is godlike.
Mm-hmm.
So that to be said. I also had an argument with my special lady.
Oh, what's her name for our millions of followers?
Her name is Katie.
Oh.
She's my fiance.
Ooh.
And I forget. So many of our arguments are her saying one thing and me I'm very sensitive and I take it like the worst possible. It's why texting is just not a thing for me anymore.
Yeah.
Because I will read the worst of it.
I
will always think you're being sarcastic if you give me something nice over text.
You send David text, hey, have a good day, and he immediately goes, whoa, what's
this? Have a good day.
Yeah, is he gonna attack me today? Like, what's gonna happen?
Yes. And just how quick I am to it's something that I've had to learn of I'm quick to be hurt. If I don't check myself at the beginning of the day, my emotions are quick to find something that hurts me.
Yeah.
Or to be angry about.
Mm-hmm.
I think, okay, so back to the point, practically, what is because something that churches always do is we talk about these lofty things that all sound very good.
Yeah. What is
the practical side? What does it actually mean I'm in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm in the heat of feeling something. What is the practical side of me submitting or inviting God into it?
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like
on
a step-by-step basis?
Oh, man, that's tough because I think I think it's a skill. And I think it's a skill that you can learn to do. And if someone's watching and they're like, oh, that sounds like extremely hard. Like I'm in the middle of just being super mad and you're asking me to do this. Like, I just think that we get to go, one, there's grace, two, that it's like a skill. And that means that you can kind of build up this skill of catching yourself or noticing yourself or, while you experience it. So for me, the other day, whenever I got upset, I was upset for 3 or 4 seconds, and then I've been trying to work on these things, and I go, why? Wait. I need to find out for a second why I'm upset, and then I had to take that in prayer to the Lord, and then invite Him into that moment, into being upset, and not that I was not to just be I don't want to feel that, I just need to. Give it, but I want to do it in the right way, with my anger, with my upsetness. I want to do that in the right, steward it the right way. So for me, and I think practically, it's this idea of noticing is the practice of noticing is huge. Just because a lot of times we go through and let our emotions kind of run, and we wouldn't even stop to think about the idea of oh wait, I'm actually mad right now. You're just mad, and you just let them react, say stuff.
Yes, I think most people that you meet are functioning on some level of autopilot.
Yeah.
Of I just go through my day. I eat when I'm hungry. I watch TV when I'm bored. Those are those emotions I feel and I do something about. Every other emotion, it just kind of goes wherever it goes. And I think our natural way, our natural rhythm of doing things is often just that. Of me being there's been plenty of times where I don't realize I'm actually in a bad mood. Yeah. Until I'm driving home. Yeah. I'm whoa, literally stopping and being I feel weird right now. I feel I'm mad. No, I'm not mad. I'm sad?
Yeah.
No. I don't know what I feel, but I feel off. What's going on? And trying to like go through my day and be like, oh yeah, I started feeling weird when this person said this thing to me. And it just kind of caught me off guard and it made me feel misunderstood.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I know.
Yeah.
Now I get to, I mean, we were talking about this before, submitting our stuff, inviting God in. If we are called to be like image bearers of God, we are called to make disciples of the nations. That's going to require us to, well, to make disciples, we have to be image bearers.
Yeah.
To be image bearers, we have to know what image we're actually bearing.
Yeah. Bearing.
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 Oh man, I want to go on a
my
tangent
head's
right
going
now
like
of like image bearers.
Yeah.
It's just, I want a T-shirt that says I'm an image bearer, and it's it's a big bear.
It's wearing a T-shirt with the verse on it.
Yeah, and then
yeah.
counterculture on the side.
Yeah,
that's a cool shirt.
That is a cool shirt.
Kids love ironic tees.
I love them.
They love them. They can't get
Absolutely
enough.
love them. They can't get it up.
But we have to know what image we are bearing.
Yes.
And to do that, we have to know truth about God.
Yeah.
So if I know the truth about God, that he loves me, accepts me, that his authority is higher than all human authority, that I can give my anxieties to him and he'll give me a peace that transcends understanding. If I know these things about God,
Yeah.
then I can now be in the midst of feeling misunderstood or in the midst of feeling hurt or anxious about what's going on in my world and be like, okay, I do feel this way, but I can act this way.
Yeah.
And I think that is part of this process
it
we're
is.
talking about. Is like, it's why people have like promises of God written and sticky noted on their wall or on their mirrors. Like, you have to get in a rhythm of reminding yourself what the character of God is so that you can put that on display.
Totally.
And make disciples of the nations.
Yeah. And be image bearers.
So, you're in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
Somebody telling me what your heart you're in the heat of the moment, and you say you're driving down the street and someone cuts you off.
Ooh,
Or, like,
really razzing me.
We went to lunch yesterday, and there was a dude in the parking lot right at, like, I'm not sure if you saw it, but it was right as you were walking up, who was like the most angry human I've ever seen.
I didn't.
Like, in the parking lot, someone was backing up about to hit him. He yells profanity at this. I don't know if he knew it was a woman, but I knew because I could see both. And then he's like flipping off the person behind him.
Oh,
and
wow.
like yelling. And I'm like, you are so, this cannot just be
About
you're taking other baggage into this.
Yeah.
But okay, you're in the heat of the moment. You're flipping off everybody. You're so mad,
so angry,
swearing. But you know, someone cuts you off. You're angry in traffic. What are the steps?
All right. First step is notice. All right. That made me angry.
And that's part of the quality of that is like there are honestly some good parts of like secular ways of dealing, like 10 deep breaths.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not in the Bible. But hey, you know what that does? It offers you time to reflect on why you're actually.
Yeah. It gives you a second to breathe. Okay, so notice, and then be like, all right, is this again, think about what you said about being an image bearer. And I think that can really is a good thing to think about, like on the forefront of your mind. So you go, all right, there's an appropriate response to this. Yes, it was not good that this person cut me off, and it's not right, everything like that, and that's why you feel. And so then
I'm allowed to be
angry about this and be like, that's really annoying. What I'm not allowed to do is like follow them to the to the store that they go, get out and try and like
slash their tires.
I'm not allowed to do that. Like that's the opposite of what you want to do because of this idea of being an image bearer.
Mm-hmm. WWJD.
WWJD.
Yeah.
And so you stop, you notice, you go, that really stinks, and you give yourself time to go, yeah, that was annoying and it made me mad. All right, this is what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to submit that to God, and I'm going to invite God in and be like, hey, that actually kind of ticked me off. Mm-hmm. And I want people to know who you are, and I want people to know who you are whenever I'm upset, and I want people to know who you are whenever like I'm sad and whenever I'm depressed or whatever the case is. And I go, all right, so what do I need to do? I want to submit this to you, and I'm not going to go slash their tires.
Right.
What I'm going to do is maybe bless them and pray for them, or maybe do the opposite.
And I think what that moment gets to do is there are times where this situation you probably don't actually need or want to confront this person.
No.
Realistically, if someone just cuts you off in traffic and you were just like at a blank slate of emotion, you're probably not that troubled.
You're kind of just like, whatever.
When you're angry about it, you're probably bringing a lot of other stuff from your day. But say something happens to you, maybe your best friend, you hear them say something about you to someone else, and it's like maybe really personal, and like a secret, or like something that's like hurtful. It's like, whoa, I'm mad at you because you revealed something that I thought was a secret. Sometimes you get to now take a deep breath, do those steps, ask God what is being the image bearer, and hey, sometimes the image bearer would say like, hey, you need to confront this person. Yeah. And not confront them like throw a brick through the window. But confront them like, hey, what you did was hurtful to me. Yeah. And, the most mature response is the one that's like, I actually just need to get this out in the open. Because that response leads to reconciliation, leads to forgiveness, and it actually leads to a better friendship than it was at the beginning. Totally. And so I just don't want to make people think that's like the correct way to be angry is to eat it and then bless somebody. It's totally. Like, no. Sometimes the correct way to be angry is be like, hey, you need to know that the way I took that, I'm like mad at you. Totally. And I'm not trying to use that as a thing against you, but like that hurt my feelings a lot. And
you can't do that whenever someone just cuts you off in traffic. You know what I mean? Like, that's really hard to do. Hey! I want you to know what you did hurt me.
It hurt my feelings. It brought up some other things that I've been carrying throughout my life. Some inadequacies that I've had since birth. You brought up some things that my dad said to me.
You can't do that. You can't do that in traffic. But what you can do is say, I like your analogy, your friends, your example, your friend doing something like that. So there's a way that you get to respond. Feel your anger, not just shove it, not just ignore it or say that it didn't happen or whatever, that you shouldn't be feeling this way. But then there's like appropriate responses in Jesus.
I actually have a really good story for this that I just thought of.
I'm ready.
Okay. So I am, for the millions of followers and viewers, I'm a graphic designer. I'm really bad. I'm terrible.
No, he's not.
I don't know why I have a job. Crazy bad.
He's extremely good.
But I do this work for some friends that I have in Washington, and I make it, and it's very bad, and I give it to them. It's an album cover for a song that they're doing, and they release it, and later that night of like the release day night, I get a text from my friend who I did work for, and he texted me a screenshot of like a Facebook comment messaging thing. Don't go on Facebook enough. But it was like some form of like public messaging that was basically like, you need to check in with whoever made this because he stole it. This isn't his work, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is illegal. You can't do this. They're going to sue you. Like, all this stuff, like, he needs to, like, this really hurtful stuff where it was like, you are a fraud. You didn't make it, and you stole it. And immediately, like, I'm talking, and he's a good friend. I will admit that I reacted poorly when in response to that to him, where I was like, oh, I was heated. But then I was like, okay, what can I do? I know that that's not right.
Yeah. I
know it's not true.
Yeah.
How am I going? I need to confront this person.
Yeah.
Because I'm not, maybe it's pride in me, but I'm just like, I'm not okay with letting this just go. Mm-hmm. So I message him, and this person, I'm just going to assume wasn't like had a faith foundation in their life, because I was like, hey, just basically said what we went, it was like, hey, I saw some of your messages that you posted, and honestly, like, that was really hurtful to me.
Yeah.
And I build a lot of my career off of recommendations, and to see that was like, it takes a big hit, and you need to know that, like, I mean, it wasn't true what you said, but ultimately, like, it just really hurt my feelings. And I don't need an apology, but you just need to know that what you said has, repercussions, and, like, it hurt. And I felt great after it.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I got to express myself without slandering someone.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that with anger.
Yeah.
I didn't know I could feel this way without the immediate shame after it because I threw a brick through someone's window or, like, swore at them. It all got sorted out, whatever, eventually. Like,
yeah,
it is what it is. Maybe that person never actually changed their mind, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because I feel great. And I think I did a good job.
Yeah.
And so...
That's good.
If you want, I think the crazy thing, all that to be said, I think the crazy thing is what's the secular culture, what, the world's culture will tell you is it just express yourself.
Yeah.
Don't murder anybody, don't hurt anybody, don't infringe on anybody's rights, but express yourself. And that will make you feel good. And the truth is that there is a temporary feel-goodness that you'll get from it.
Yeah.
But guys, if you want that selfish feel good, that like I feel good, I promise you, if you do it this Christian way, you'll get that.
Yeah.
Like, if we're just talking what's gonna make you feel good, like, I feel good about it.
Totally.
And I didn't have to swear at somebody, which ultimately I think makes most people not.
Yeah.
Like, whether you're Christian or not, if you're just going around swearing at people, you're probably not feeling great.
No, definitely not.
And so I just think, oftentimes culture is going to try and steal the fruit of Christianity without doing any of the Christian practices.
Yeah.
And if you look at secular culture and say, I want that fruit, man, you should try this Christian way because I promise it's a better and more authentic fruit.
Yeah.
And it's ultimately what you're going for to begin with. It's just a little counterculture.
Yes. It's good. It's good. No, I like it. And I think it's a good place we can kind of wrap it up. So, couple practical things. One, like,
Breathe and assess.
Breathe, assess. There's a right way to do things. Like, there's just a right way to there's a better way to express your anger. There's a better way to express your sadness. There's ways to express it without.
And there's a righteous way.
A righteous way to do it.
If you get a loss in your family,
yeah,
you should have grief.
Yeah, you should be upset.
You should be sad and be like, God, what why is death a thing? This is terrible. And he's like, I know.
Yeah. He's like, I know it's not the way I wanted it. Yeah, and I think that's important, is like that you should feel these emotions and you should feel them, experience them, but you also like remember that, one, you're an image bearer of Jesus, one, or two, that there's like just a right way to do it. There's like a healthy right ways to express yourself and to express the feelings that you're going through. Doesn't mean that that in itself doesn't even doesn't take away from your feeling, like, at all. Like, in fact, I think it brings it more meaning. I think it like shows the completeness of it. Like,
yeah.
And so, just know that, and then lastly that do right, or the image bearer is gonna get you.
Yeah. And then right now, could you maybe bring up a picture of a bear with both claws up?
Yeah, like this.
And then have it kind of like spiral in.
Yeah.
Right when you say, like, the image bear is going to get you.
Do that. Yeah,
in fact, every time we said the word image bear, could you do like a roar, like a grizzly bear noise?
Did he say yes? I didn't hear him.
I think he said yes.
Okay, cool. Sick. I'm about it. Let's go.
All
right,
bye. That's it. I don't know.
Deuces.